Hi, I'm Judy Mitchell with Premier Sotheby's International Realty. I live and work right here in Longboat Key, and today I want to give you the update for what's happening in the real estate market right here on Longboat Key. So we're talking about May 2026, and it's so interesting because when I always look at how we're trending and how we're comparing versus last year, there's kind of like this overall sentiment in the market that the market is super slow, and it's much slower than it was last year. Well, the numbers don't bear that out. In fact, it may surprise you to know that the number of units that are selling is almost exactly the same as it was last year, just one less. So 35 units were sold in the month of May on Longboat Key. That's condominiums and single-family homes. I think 7 of those were single-family homes. And then last year, if you look at the numbers last year, the number of closings that happened in May, 36. So just the same, just one, we're just down 1 from versus this time last year. So that's essentially flat. So very interesting to know that about the market. Also, when we look at the numbers, what we see is our median price of a sale in Longboat Key is up about $300,000 over what it was last year. So let me give you the very specifics on the numbers. Okay, last year in the month of May, our median price was $1,040,000. And this year, our median price in the month of May is $1,330,000. So we are way up now, and this is really interesting as well. If you look at the high and the low, which of course the median is going to throw out, it actually was about the same. So a 1-bedroom unit sold this season in May. It closed. It was at Longboat Harbor. It was our low sale of the year. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. It sold for $250,000. Yes, there are still deals on Longboat Key. And our most expensive listing that sold in the month of May was a single-family home. I'm reading off my little cheat sheet here. It was a single-family home, and it sold for $8,350,000. Now, that home was on Gulf Road, absolutely gorgeous home, and in Sleepy Lagoon, just a great home. So, that's a huge difference in price point between $250,000 to almost $8 million, so just over $8 million actually. Okay, now when we look at May, interesting to note that the low sale May 2025 a year ago was about the same. It was $229,000, but that property that sold was a little villa in Spanish Main, which was really a distressed property at that time. Now, the high price point last year at this time was a sale at Regent Court for over $10 million. Okay, now that really was a beautiful unit with a gorgeous view of the Gulf. But I think it's so interesting to note that the low and the high last year versus this year is about the same. But in the middle, where all the business is done, which is about, generally $1.1 million, $1.2 million, $1.3 million in that price point, we're finding that our median price point right now for the month of May was $1,330,000. So great news for sellers, really, but also interesting from the perspective of a buyer. I will tell you that the sold price versus the list price is running at 94.1%. So that's room for negotiation in the deal. And we are finding we're able to negotiate some fantastic deals for buyers right now. But sellers, you've got to price right, so that gets people in the door, it gets them looking, your days on market stay limited, and generally it gives you more leverage in the negotiating process. So that's a quick overview of what's happening in our real estate market just here on Longboat Key. It's really what I specialize in. It's what I study every single day. And that's what's happening. Now, I would be remiss if I let you go without telling you about my fantastic listing that is on the market in Sable Cove. Now, Sable Cove is a small neighborhood community in Bay Isle. So it is behind the gates. You enter in the gates just past Publix on Longboat. And there's a beautiful home that's on the market there that I'm very proud to co-list with my friend and agent, Rick Smith. It is listed for $1,699,000. It is a 4-bedroom, 4.5-bath home. It's over 3,600 square feet. It overlooks a beautiful inland lake and also the golf course at the Longboat Key Club. It is a fantastic house.